Last night was such a crazy night, and today we get to do it all again. So we're just packing up the trailer in the van, hitting the road. We're like 2 hours out from Edmonton. We didn't get in until like 4 a.m. to where we were staying, so got as much sleep as possible. Also, Jay, thanks for letting us crash at your place. So now we gotta hit it and get to Edmonton. See you there. Quick stop at the Walmart. So I had a minor freak out this morning. I was going through the footage of last night in our set. There was a couple files of the actual set and they wouldn't work and they wouldn't play. They wouldn't transfer over to my computer, and I was like, couldn't believe it. So I was like, oh god, I hope I actually have that footage and it's not like corrupted or something. I have my camera connected to my computer with a USB and that won't work. So I'm gonna grab an SD card reader and hopefully I'll be able to just transfer stuff easily and not have to worry about that. I was able to get it on from someone else's computer and the footage does look sick, so I'm pumped that it actually worked out. Hi.
Hello?
I just need an SD card reader. They're over there, they're locked up. And since I had that little mishap with my in-ear coming out, I'm just gonna super glue it. So I think just slap some crazy glue on her, should be no problem. And last but not least, I gotta get some food. I need supplies for Loud as Hell. I didn't have any time to get any beforehand because we were just so busy preparing, getting everything ready. Thankfully, Walmart's kind of one-stop shop for that. There, finished, loaded it up. Now, I just got like a bunch of beef jerky and canned tuna, some raw vegetables. I'm gonna eat like a king at Loud as Hell. Just like the laziest way of eating. It's all just pre-made and ready to go, but it makes things so much easier when you don't have to worry about cooking it. In that video for the magazine photo shoot, we ended up at the Starlite Room, and funny enough, does this look familiar? So at the time, we didn't have this show. It just kind of fell into our lap right after. We're playing at the Starlite Room with the Acacia Strain tonight, and here's the spot where we did that little photo shoot. Yeah, I'm stoked to play at this venue. This venue is really good, and this will be this is with Acacia Strain on their 10-year continent tour. I'm not sure if it's my favorite album of theirs, but it's definitely like top 2 or 3. Awesome opportunity to play this one. Okay, so now it at least shouldn't pop out while I'm playing on stage. Kind of key to the whole thing. Okay, so you know how I went to Walmart, got the crazy glue and fixed up my in-ears? Well, what I went ahead and did is I actually forgot my guitar strap in Calgary at the Blind Beggar. Issue being is not just the guitar strap, I have my transmitters attached to it. So for this show, I'm not going to be using any wireless things, and the way our setup is, we have everything coming through our in-ears, like our click and things like that. So I'm just going to be running blind on this one. Our drummer's so tight though, it's not really an issue, but it's just a funny thing. I just got to do my best to keep up with it, and hopefully the monitoring situation is fine, which I'm sure it will be. So let's see how this adventure goes. Another one for the books. That actually turned out a lot better than it could have, mostly because our drummer Ty is like super tight, so I was able to just rely on him and go for it. I absolutely hate not having in-ear monitors. The sound guy was really good, but it's just like monitors are always like, you have to stand in a specific spot to get a good mix and to hear yourself properly. And I like to move around a lot. I'm generally a mobile guy when it comes to being on stage, so I like to run around, and as soon as I move away I can't even really hear myself properly. That's why the in-ear monitors are really nice, because you can just go wherever and it's always like the same mix because we have it pre-programmed beforehand. But beyond that, there wasn't really any hitches in the show. It was a shorter set today. It was actually another night where we had a really good sound guy who was just like gung-ho about our rig and set it up no problem. And actually my sister came out tonight. She flew in from Amsterdam to see us. She's a Dutch person, so it's always great to see her. She doesn't speak English, of course, she only speaks Dutch, so I mean, it was at a concert, so there's not a whole lot of talking to be done anyway since it's so loud, but it was really cool to see her. Thanks for coming out, Jill. And then of course the headliner was the Acacia Strain. And I've been a really big fan of that band for a long time. Tonight I got paid to see a band who I've loved for so long, so it was it's kind of a surreal experience to do that. And as you can tell, I've been like blowing my voice out because I was up front screaming their songs. Oh, it was just so heavy. I was trying to like hang back with my sister for a lot of the time. We had a bunch of other buddies come out, so I was like at the back of the crowd with them for most of Acacia Strain. But then I started to hear Beast come on.
Without that, we wouldn't be here, so give it up for Cat. You see him later, kick him in the pants. He's big and he's Italian, and he's hairy and he leaves pubes all over everything.
And I was like, okay, I gotta get in there. This particular gig kind of fell into our laps. We got the offer like, I think it was like a week or maybe 2 weeks ago. It all happened super fast. I was like, oh my God, we played in Calgary the night before and we've got Loud as Hell Festival coming up. So even if we didn't play the show, I would have tried my damnedest to get to Edmonton and watch the show. So that happened to work out really, really well for me. There's this really nice park right beside the Starlite Room, and they have the light up trees, kind of peaceful. The funny thing is, okay, so you can see it's like a wide open park, but have signs up like it's closed from 11 p.m. to 5 a.m. and it's just like, I can understand that on like a secluded park just for safety, but this one is like you're seeing the whole thing. It's so brightly lit and it's like right by the main drag. I guess that's probably like policy or something like that. I don't know. Neat little park in the nighttime anyway. This guy though, he doesn't care about the rules. He's gonna walk through the park no matter what. Once again, I'm always in awe of tall buildings, but in the night with the park lit up by the trees and the buildings, it's very peaceful, despite like the city noises and things like that. It's very calming after an intense metal show to just have a nice stroll over here. Now the late night continues. We're actually loaded out and packed up. We've got to find a place to stay, and then tomorrow, before we go to Loud as Hell Festival, we have to rip to the Blind Beggar because my in-ear pack is there. So we got to pick that up. They were actually really cool about it, and I can swing by in the morning to get it. So thanks once again, Blind Beggar. They continue to be a great venue and great to work with. Actually, I think we have a show in September at the Blind Beggar again. I should probably know these things. I don't though.
It's a friendly ear to talk and to listen. And if you are one of those people who needs someone to talk to, don't be afraid to reach out and talk to somebody. It can always get worse, but it can also always get better. Don't be afraid to reach out to your friends. Don't be afraid to reach out to your family. And don't be afraid to be that person for somebody. I've lost too many people. I'm sure all of you have lost too many people in your lives. Just be there. Just be there for people. Cherish what you have. This is called the Combine.